Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick. Today we have set number 70736. This is Attack of the Morro Dragon. And this was released in 2015 as part of the Summer Wave. It contains 658 pieces, including 6 minifigures, and retailed for $69.99. It does have one instruction booklet, but it is one of the higher quality ones with the perfect binding. The bulk of the set is obviously the dragon, but you do get this decent little side build, which is supposed to represent the little shrine of some sort. And this seems to look more like the Cloud Kingdom, which is where the Sword of Sanctuary is held. However, it could also be interpreted as the first Spinjitzu Master's tomb, because in this little dome piece is a diamond, or a gem, which is supposed to represent the Realm Crystal, which, you know, is good. Maybe it would have been better with the lighter color, but, you know, obviously there's no color that perfectly matches the way the Realm Crystal looks in the show. And this is just sitting underneath that little doorway. You can open up the, the little scene. I like the masonry bricks on the front. I think it looks good overall. There are some spare weapons stored in these barrels when you turn it around, including 2 spears and 2 regular golden katanas. And I think it includes an extra of each in the set. And overall it's rather simple. I like the little stairs leading up to it and how it looks when folded completely closed. But there is one little special thing about this, and that is that if the lights go out, you can't see anything. But these do glow in the dark, and I will show you a better shot of that later when we talk more about all the small side builds. Are these little hoverboards, and personally, I really love these things. They don't appear in the show at all, but they're super fun to play around with. You know, you can have your ninjas hover around on them. Each one gets a sticker. They're the same build, just different colors. I like the stickers. I wish they did one of these for each ninja. That would be awesome. But, you know, you can stand them on there, and you can pose these all sorts of ways because they're on the ball joints. I think they look best either, you know, in this regular mode, or, you know, just curve them out like that, so you kind of got like some wings almost. But yeah, each of these I think is really cool, and these are a nice thing to include in the set. Also, the ninja each get their arrow blades, and you can clip those onto the little lanterns, because they do have a clip on the top, so you could attach those there. But as far as, you know, and that would work well in a situation where you're using this as a little home base for the ninjas. But it is kind of what they're trying to reach. It's the end goal of the set, at least, you know, the way I've interpreted it so far. So this is really dim, but you can kind of see the little glow that we've got going on here. So with all those little side builds out of the way, we have this really, you know, big and awesome looking dragon. The head is brick built, and it looks fantastic. This is one of, I think, the better Ninjago dragon heads. However, the only, you know, downside is it's not, you know, a very popular dragon character. You know, it doesn't really have any attributes to it besides the fact that, you know, it belongs to Morro. But it looks awesome. I love the, you know, red eyes. The design of it overall. The mouth looks really good, which usually is difficult for them to do on dragons. I think part of the reason this one gets to look so good is because of its size, but I do like the stickers that are on the bottoms of the mouth, and I like the part choice for the front of the nose. The car piece, you know, first used for Francesco, I think, maybe. I think that looks good, and it does have some up and down articulation, and it can be rotated. However, the real missed opportunity here, I think, is it cannot turn side to side. It's just up and down and rotate, which I think is a little bit of a shame because it's a really well done looking design. It just kind of lacks in the playability aspect a little, which is a real shame. And yes, there's a sticker there. There's also a sticker up top here, as well as on the 4 legs. Speaking of legs, they can articulate up and down, and the feet have ball joints to keep them flat. The toes can also move, but you know, it is what it is there. Nothing exceptional. The design of the body is this nice curved shape. I like it. It is a little weird, and it gives a perfect position for a handle, which is, you know, again, a good feature to have. You can hold this, and it's pretty sturdy. The tail is a little bit flimsy, but I think that's good because it can move all the way around. This top joint is a ratcheted joint, but the rest are all ball joints and can move however you want. And I think that's good because this design feels very serpentine. It's got a lot of curves to it, and I do wish it had more ability to curve to the side like this tail does, you know, vertically. But it really can't at all. It can't move in that direction anywhere besides the tail, which is a shame. The only other real design elements that there are this little seat for the, you know, Green Ninja Morro. I like the chains, by the way, and you can pick those up and put them into the hands of the evil Green Ninja, but you know, it's they look just as good on the ground there. I like that stickered design as well as the horns, and then this I think might be my favorite part and what sets this dragon really, you know, a notch above most is these cloth wings. They look phenomenal, and they don't have too much, like you can't fold them in like you can with the green NRG dragon. You can, you know, move them all around, and I do like how it kind of shows through, but like dimmer on the underside. So I like this design. Some people might say it's a little lazy because they didn't print it on both sides, but I think that this is actually good, and it passes off as well as doing something intentionally would have. I don't know if they did this intentionally. They probably just did it to save costs, but I think it looks really good. And yeah, you can pose these so that they're kind of like facing backwards, which again I think is cool. But overall, I think that this is just a really well-designed dragon, and I think that it is a shame that it wasn't, you know, one of the most popular sets. I know that this was discounted quite a bit. You know, I've seen it on clearance quite a few times. I think that, yeah, it's not the coolest dragon, and, you know, it doesn't contain the coolest stuff, but the dragon itself, I think, is fantastic, and I am, you know, really glad to have seen this produced and executed so well. It is a little bit of a shame that it, you know, had to cut down on playability a bit and posability in order to focus on the looks aesthetically, but you know, I think they did what they had to do, and this definitely looks good on display. I think that it can be played with, it just isn't as fun to do, or as fun to use as some of the other dragons, especially Master Wu Dragon from this same wave of sets, which I think was a little bit more posable and playable and everything, and really still looked fantastic too. Would you look at that? They have 4 arms. Just kidding, these are screamers. You know, standard fare for possession, but this one comes with a banana, and this one comes with a sausage, so they are ready for dinner. But the figures here included are really Deepstone Kai and Deepstone Jay. They have the newer style Deepstone mask with the 2 colors, dual molding, and they each come with their arrow blade, which, you know, as I said earlier, you can clip onto the little shrine, but it doesn't fit perfectly. And this one only appears in one other set, and this appears in quite a few, so the red one's quite a bit more common. However, none of these pieces are exclusive besides the arrow blade, center, the core piece, and you can just basically find these pieces, in your collection, likely. The yellow ones are a little bit harder to find, though, I think. The torso and leg print is pretty respectable. Looks like the deep stone armor in the show, and they do each get 1 gold and 1 black katana on their shoulder pads. Underneath there, though, we have their symbol and a little bit more back printing, which looks good, but nothing, crazy. And the actual, the figures, I think are good. However, Deepstone J and Kai appear most frequently out of all of the possession sets, so these guys are a little bit easier to get than the others. I think it would have been more interesting to see Zane or Cole appear here. So here are your 2 super standard fairy ghosts. This one is Cowler, and he includes a scabbard. I don't believe he gets a different name in this set. I think he is known as Cowler. I don't have the box on me right now, so can't really tell you for certain. But I believe that this guy here is named Hackler in this set. As far as the Scabbards or Scabbard variants go, they only appear in this set, and this guy appears in the Master Wu Dragon, I think, as the yokai. So, these guys are pretty standard. I'm not going to show you in depth. You can check out some of my other possession reviews, or I think I've done a minifigure showcase on, the Ghost Army in general. The only thing special about these guys, really, is those Scabbards and the glow-in-the-dark pieces on their weapons. And the last, and I think probably 2 most exciting figures, are Wraith here, who comes with this cool ghost blade chain, because he's like master of chains or whatever. I really like that piece. And you also get the evil green ninja, possessed by Morro, and he gets this little staff thing, which we're just going to remove. But Wraith has this headgear piece that isn't used on any of the regular ghosts. It's only used on him and Soul Archer. And his back, his torso printing in general, has some nice metallic shine to it. It's got some chains on there, and yeah, works pretty well. I guess I should have shown you his head print. He doesn't have any back printing on there, besides, like no back face, I should have said. But he does have the wrap printed on there, which I think is really cool. And I guess if you really wanted to, you could go like that, and it looks really freaky. But yeah, I think that looks alright. And the ghost tail piece that he has included is in the standard possession colors, but it looks awesome. And Morro here, / Evil Green Ninja, is my favorite figure in this set. One of the best possession figures, and he only appears in this set as well as City of Styx, so if you want him, you have to get one of those 2 sets. And that's the only reason why I think, or another reason why I think that it would have been better to see someone besides Jay and Kai, because they both appear in both of the sets that this guy comes in, so it kind of makes it redundant if you're looking to, get one of each ninja to get, like, it makes it so that it's almost pushing you towards not buying both this set and City of Styx, which I think is a little bit of a negative, because they're both awesome sets. Whoops. But, yeah, this one, I think, is a really cool figure. What the heck is going on here? Why can't I break that apart? There we go. But yeah, I think that this guy is an awesome figure. He has this really cool ghost, or I guess not ghost, but this looks exactly like it should, really. Very well done. It's got some good painting in there. It's a little dusty, actually. But yeah, it looks decent, and has a decent paint application. The mold is really awesome as well. He's got this face which looks like Lloyd's, but it's on a spring green color, so that's really cool. it's a little bit easier to see than some of the regular Morro heads that are transparent. And he has this cool shoulder armor piece, which, you know, got two sides. And it has like the deep stone emblem, but it's like cracked apart and on green fire. And yeah, overall, this guy is a really cool figure, and it has Morro's symbol on the back, which is awesome. So, this guy is one of my favorite, or I guess one of my favorite Ninjago minifigures, but definitely, I think, the best in the possession line. I guess the only other one that's really desirable to have, you know, outside of possession is Ronin. So those two, I think, are my top two possession figures. So I think this set looks really good and works well on display, but it does a lot to kind of hinder itself into, you know, mediocrity. I think that it's a cool build, but it just lacks that you know, that extra posability that will take it, you know, over the top for display and, you know, play. I think it looks good, but, you know, I really think that this neck joint is one of the weakest points in the entire set. The little side build is alright, nothing too special. Feels like they wanted to make this dragon bigger, but they couldn't, so they threw in a little side build to make it more fun. I don't know if it's just because they couldn't come up with a better solution for this neck and had to scale it down a little. The other big issue with this set is the figures. It would have been nice to get a more desirable figure. Obviously, the Evil Green Ninja is really desirable, but it's also available in the City of Styx, which personally I think is a better set. And I would have... if I was on a budget, I would easily have passed this one to get the City of Styx, because that one does also have the Scroll of Air Jitsu, which is kind of a collectible for this wave. So, you know, it's kind of more important to get if you want to have, you know, a base line of everything. The Realm Crystal does appear in other sets, so, you know, I think that they kind of push this. They take a good design and they push it in the wrong direction. The price doesn't help either. It's $70, which I think is a good value for a dragon of this size. But the price per piece, the, you know, part count ratio isn't as isn't, you know, exceptional. It's all right, but it doesn't do anything to help this set. So overall, I think that it's cool. If you buy it, you'll like it. It's a good design, but there's a whole lot that could have been done to make it better. So honestly, I'd probably give this set around a C, which makes sense considering that you know, it did sit around on clearance for quite a while. However, that might make it easier to pick up nowadays in the aftermarket. Now that this set is basically retired, there might be a couple left on shelves somewhere, but those should be gone soon. So I think that you know, it's a reasonable set, but you know, it's just not a must-have on my list. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys think of the set as a whole, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.